How to raise your stress threshold. The Stoic approach. I want to teach my listeners how to increase their stress threshold. There are two tools I've studied and now offer to you. One works cumulatively, the other immediately. But I won't talk about how dreadful stress is, nor will I try to frighten you with its consequences. Instead, I'll explain why some people willingly step into ice baths and why special forces train with something called the hour of pain. All of it through the lens of science. From this moment on, our aim will be simple and noble: to reduce stress and improve our overall state of being. Trying to control the mind with the mind is like trying to grasp fog with your hands. The tighter you try, the more it escapes. The nervous system isn't just the brain. It's a vast web of connections throughout the body, sending and receiving countless signals. When the mind feels out of control, we naturally reach for mechanical tasks, things that don't require deep thought. Anxiety, fear, and trauma are all tied to stress, past or present. But do not fear it. I will not dwell on how destructive stress can be. Stress is nature's signal for survival, deeply embedded in us. But unlike trauma, it can occur without major harm. You can be anxious without true danger. Yet true trauma, cannot arise without stress and fear. Trauma isn't merely pain. It's a lingering process, one that intertwines physiological and psychological responses to past stress. Stress and anxiety serve as heralds, warnings. Trauma may form only when we fail to heed them or process them in time. Though science gives no strict lines between fear, stress, and trauma, one thing remains clear. Trauma is often the consequence of stress or fear occurring at a moment we were not ready for. A remnant of pain which makes life uncomfortable, or in some cases, deeply difficult. So, we must learn to manage these states, not out of fear, but out of reason, to live more comfortably, yes, but also to live better. The first task is understanding the kind of stress you face. Are you drained and unable to recover energy, or are you overloaded and in need of calming down? These are different conditions. Each demands its own solution. And yes, the task of controlling the mind with itself is difficult, but not impossible. In moments of overwhelming fatigue or hypervigilance, return to the body. The body carries within it the very tools nature equipped us with. One such tool is the double inhale followed by a long exhale, a technique supported by neuroscience. This method is governed by a set of neurons in the brainstem, discovered in Jack Feldman's lab in the 1990s. It connects breath to a variety of physiological processes and opens a gateway to offline stress control, raising what we call the stress threshold, much like the pain threshold. The better question to ask isn't, how do I eliminate stress? But how can I remain calm in the mind, even when the body is overwhelmed? There are two approaches. The first concerns fatigue, often stemming from poor sleep or irregular rhythms. This, while rarely spoken of in the past, is now rightly recognized as essential. Sleep won't fix your state instantly. It's a long-term investment, but a worthwhile one. Still, let's speak of the second approach. Because there are times when you cannot wait for sleep to restore you. You must act now. You need to increase alertness and focus in the present. Here, science again provides a path. The link between breath and heart rate. When we inhale, the diaphragm moves downward. This increases the volume of the heart slightly, slowing blood flow. The brain detects this and responds. Speed up. This physiological dance is called respiratory sinus arrhythmia. On the inhale, the heart rate rises. On the exhale, it slows. Breathe with awareness, and you gain a handle on your state. Not by force, but by cooperation with the body's wisdom. This is not escape. This is not resistance. This is practice, the practice of self-command, Stoic mastery of breath and mind. He who controls his breath commands his state. What you must understand is this: every breath you take is a message to your heart. A deep inhalation signals the heart to quicken. A long exhalation lifts the diaphragm, compresses the chest, and slows the heartbeat. This is not poetry, it is physiology. The space within the chest contracts, and your nervous system responds accordingly. So if you seek energy, take sharp, deliberate breaths. Inhales longer and more vigorous than exhales will awaken the body and stir the fire within. But if you wish for peace, exhale slowly. Let your breath descend like a leaf falling to still waters. The heart follows. Now, imagine a training. You breathe intensely, you flood your system with oxygen. Then you hold your breath for 15 seconds amid adrenaline and a racing pulse. Your body panics, yet your mind remains unmoved. This, friend, is not mere breathwork. It is governance. It is the higher mind commanding the lower body. Do not move, do not act, simply be. And that is the Stoics' ideal: power without motion. If remembering the mechanics is tiresome, remember instead this simple cycle. Breathe in and out rapidly, 25 to 30 times. Deep, rhythmic, without pause. Exhale fully and hold, as long as is comfortable. Inhale deeply once, then hold again for 10 to 15 seconds. Repeat 2 to 3 times if needed. This is not hyperventilation. It is discipline under stress. This teaches you to remain still when every nerve wants to run. This builds your resistance to chaos, a forge for resilience. You are practicing serenity in fire. Science affirms the body can be trained to remain calm in states of high arousal. The mind becomes an anchor, even when the flesh trembles and begs to flee. Over time, this inner dominion grows. You've seen this, perhaps, in cold immersion. People stepping into icy water do not just test their bodies, they confront their instincts. Each time the cold strikes, the body cries, "Flee." But the mind replies, "Remain." That is sovereignty. There is also a method called the hour of pain, told to me by a former Special Forces soldier. Not an official training, but a ritual of self-overcoming. You sit still in a single pose on the floor for an hour. The body protests, muscles tremble, the mind screams, "Move," but you do not. This is the limbic friction you must learn to endure. The moment when discomfort becomes your teacher. All these practices serve one purpose: to reverse the flow of power, from the body to the mind, from impulse to intention. Whether you feel too aroused or too drained, know this: the breath is your tool. If overwhelmed, focus on long exhalations, or use the physiological sigh: 2 quick inhales, 1 long exhale. If exhausted, try Yoga Nidra, the yogic sleep. Unlike meditation, it suspends you in a state between waking and rest. No effort, no strain, just surrender. Lie down, breathe slowly, and follow the voice of the guide as it leads your attention across the body. In just 10 minutes a day, this can restore clarity and strength. I do not say these are the only methods. There are many others, but these few offer a starting point. They cost you nothing, only a small decision to begin. Ask yourself, not tomorrow, but now, am I willing to offer myself this minimum in service of a greater self? For in small acts of inner mastery, happiness finds its root.